So today we start with idle time. That is, we were doing, let me give you a brief hint that what we had done earlier. We had done what is labor cost, then the types of labor cost, and then we had discussed labor turnover. Today we are going to do idle time. What is idle time? Idle time is, we can say it is the unproductive time. The worker is present for the work, but the work is not being done. Now, what are the reasons? The reasons can be, it can be either normal idle time or it can be abnormal idle time. When I say normal idle time, it means which will be there. For example, when a worker enters from the gate of the factory to the production unit, he is moving along. So, from the entry point to his job place, wherever he is placed in the organization, he is moving, that is normal idle time. Then he is waiting for instructions, or he is waiting for the tools and equipments. So, this is normal idle time. It will be incurred, it will be there. Abnormal idle time is over and above the normal. Let's say power failure or machine breakdown. Now, in this case, let's say if here it is the normal waiting for instructions, here we can say that unnecessary. Now, how the things are different. For example, I enter the class and I am supposed to tell you the page number, that from where we have to do the illustration. So we are just you are waiting for me to announce the particular page of the book. That is normal. That is normal. But then somebody turns up at the gate and they ask me, maybe any student or anything, anybody else comes for any data or for any information to me, and I keep on telling them, and you are still waiting for the page number. So that is the unnecessary wait for instructions. So the things is, earlier it was normal, but now the things have turned into abnormal. So similarly, strikes, lockouts, the things which we are facing nowadays, that is abnormal idle time. And then shortage of materials. Again, it is materials are not adequate. Then who is responsible? The purchase department is responsible, or the storekeeper didn't inform timely about that the materials are running out of stock. So the time there will be no production, and it is all that is there is abnormal idle time. But whatever the reason, there in both the cases, one thing is for sure, that we are paying the worker. If the worker is being paid, then it means what? That cost is being incurred. So now the question arises, how to treat that cost? What is the treatment of idle time cost? So when we say, again, firstly we did normal idle time. So the cost of normal idle time, it can be treated two ways. First thing is, for example, let's say a worker has to be paid rupees 8 for one day. He's supposed to be paid rupees 8 for a day, and let's say that he has to work for in that day for 8 hours. And out of those 8 hours, 1 hour was wasted, maybe because of any of the normal reasons. Maybe. So that we are still paying him how much? We are paying him 8, but now the first treatment says that we should treat abnormal idle time as an item of factory overheads. That is, normal idle time wages should be treated as factory overheads. How we will be doing? So it means, what is the hourly rate? Hourly rate is 8 divided by 8 is 1. So for that 1 hour, rupee 1, 1 into 1, that is rupee 1 is to be charged to factory overheads. And out of this 8, we deduct rupee 1. And how much is left? Rupees 7. So 8 minus 1 is 7. This is the direct cost, direct labor cost. Whereas, so let me show it to you again. Let's say we are paying rupees 8 for one day, and what one day is of 8 hours. And out of those 8 hours, 1 hour is the normal idle time. So how to treat? The first part of treatment says that whatever is the normal idle time wages, we should treat them as factory overheads. So as normal idle time was 1 hour, so 1 hour into 1 rupee is to be treated as factory overhead, and from this 8 we subtract this 1 and the left is 7 rupees, that is direct labor cost. And the second method is, which is must and very good one and easy one also, that why not we charge full rupees 8 as direct wages only. So if we charge full rupees 8 as direct wages, but if we want to have per hour rate, so I will be dividing it by 8 minus 1, that is 7 hours. That is, the labor rate per hour will be more than rupee 1. Here the rate was rupee 1 per hour. 8 divided by 8 is rupee 1 per hour. But what will happen over here? Here we are dividing 8 by 7. So what is the rate per hour? The rate per hour is 1.14 rupees per hour. That is inflated rate, and this method is preferable than this method. Now we are on to the treatment of abnormal idle time. How to treat abnormal idle time? Simple. Just transfer everything, the cost, to the costing, profit and loss. So just transfer abnormal idle time to costing, profit and loss account. So with that, our idle time is over, and now the next is overtime. You know, these all are problems. Labor turnover is a problem. Idle time is a problem. And then the next is overtime. If we have control over this cost, of course, labor cost would be controlled up to a certain extent. So now overtime. Firstly, what is meant by overtime? In a factory, if the Factories Act says that if a worker is working more for 9 hours a day on any day, or for more than 48 hours in a week, so it means that person is doing overtime. So above this, above 9 hours or above this time, so it means he's working for overtime. And what is the rate for overtime? It has to be double. That is double the normal wage rate. We have to pay double. Now the question arises, why overtime arises? What is the reason? So overtime may arise because number one, we got a rush order, some order that needs to be completed very quickly, or it can be that because of breakdown of machinery or because of power failure, we were not able to do the work within the normal hours and now we have to complete it. So the organization wants workers to do overtime. Now, whatever we pay to the worker for overtime, that is known as overtime premium. And overtime normal wages for the when say we pay piece 2, so here it has to be double. That is then for abnormal, for the overtime we will be paying rupees 4 per hour. So we should be very much clear that if we want to control our labor cost, then in that case overtime should be avoided as much as possible. Now, if overtime is being done for a factory as a whole, for the whole factory it was required, then we charge it as factory overheads. But if it is required for a particular job, for any particular order, then it will be a direct charge that is directly charged as wages to that job. And if the workers are being called for, let's say, some doing overtime because of certain abnormal reasons, then we will be charging to costing profit and loss account. So I hope the things are clear. Let us revise. Now, normal rates double is being paid for the overtime. Overtime is working over and above these hours. It can be because of any of these reasons that we are doing. And this is an example. If overtime is being done for the whole factory, required for whole factory, then factory overheads. If only for a particular job, then better is charged as a direct wage to that job or that order. And in case it is because of an abnormal, let's say पूरा संडे एक लगवा दिया, maybe because of any other reason, so whatever wages costing P&L account, transfer all the wages to this costing P&L account. Thank you.